Well, good morning. Here we are again. It's Friday, and that means that it's day 5 of the everybody shelter at home so that, things and stuff and whatever. And it seems like every day things get a little bit more serious from those who are in charge of us, or those who like to think they're in charge of us, or those where our tax money goes, whatever. I don't care. But it's the governor started putting out stuff yesterday, and then the county and all that, and so we're getting down to the point now where we're like, was it like 10 people in the place now? That's pretty serious. So, wow, here we are. So, in any case, I'm outside today because I wanted to actually enjoy the fact that it's raining instead of resent it, because my yard has turned into a swamp. It's standing water. It's like we have set up a hotel system for all of the mosquitoes to come by and bite us out of later. This is where they will spring from. Look at that grass. Look at that green, green grass, man. I'm excited, man. Spring's coming. I'm tired. I don't know if it's just because there's been like the added stress, or because I get to find out just how much work my kids' teachers do at school every day. I don't know if it's like the constant bickering and fighting with my kids who are, stuck inside when it's raining and can't go and play in other places. I don't know what it is, man. I'm tired. And I realized maybe it's because I've not really been resting all that much. And we were made to rest. We were created to rest. As a matter of fact, right after we were done being created, God rested, just to show us that this is an important thing to do. And it's important to focus on the idea that we need rest. We need to rest. We were created to rest, and it's actually resting is actually an act of worship. And I don't mean laziness. Laziness is a whole different thing, but resting is something where we actually recognize that God is who He is, and we recognize that God is who He says that He is. So we were made to rest. And, I actually seen my grass in the sort of wild state that it is right now, because if I tried to run a mower over the last couple of days, what's going to happen to it is it's going to end up getting muddy, muddy tracks all over the place. But it makes me think of when, God actually told the people they had to let their fields lay fallow every now and then. And that's back before there was an understanding among the people of agricultural science, where letting a field lay fallow was actually good for it. But if they did that as a worshipful act of obedience, the crops were better. And so the question becomes, when we're doing this thing where we're not in our normal routines, how do we rest? How do we do things differently as an act of worship? And God says, remember the Sabbath, keep it holy. Keep it set aside, keep it set apart, keep it special, keep it worshipful for Him. What do you need to do tomorrow? If Sunday's your Sabbath, what do you need to do tomorrow to make Sunday special, to make it set apart, to make observing it an act of actual worship? And if you have never done worship online before, it's weird. It's odd and awkward, because if you're used to going and being at church around people, you can do church in your pajamas on Sunday, and that might feel a little awkward. There's some among us who might end up, doing, like still dressing up in the 3-piece suits, and hey, there we go. That's you do you, but you need to be prepared to do it however it needs to be done, and do it for the right reason, for the right purpose. And again, this whole situation presents an opportunity where we can look at the way we do things and maybe do them differently. So as you go through your prayer time today, I want you to meditate on the idea of keeping the Sabbath holy, remembering the Sabbath and keeping it holy, and how that required preparation. Because when God had His people out in the wilderness, the manna that He provided for them throughout the week wouldn't show up on Sunday. They would have to work twice as hard the day before the Sabbath just so that they could eat on the Sabbath. And so there may be some work that we need to do to prepare ourselves that's twice as much so that on Sunday, on Saturday, whenever you take your Sabbath, because there are people who do religious work. Sunday is not really a restful day. I mean, it's a special day, but y'all, it's exhausting, and so that's why a lot of churches are either closed on Mondays or closed on Fridays, just to give their staff time to rest. And so, in any case, find what it is that your rest is going to be. And I think most of us, that rest is going to need to include putting our devices away and just keeping them away from us for a little while. Maybe not the whole day, but maybe just a couple hours. Maybe just say, hey, you know what? My phone, my tablet, my computer, my whatever doesn't exist. My television, they aren't real for the next 4 hours of my life. And the only thing that's real is the air that I'm breathing and the people that I'm breathing my air with, which is less than 10. Unless you're from Utah, apparently. There was a joke somewhere in there. It was like Babylon Bee or whatever. I'm just babbling now. So, have a great Friday, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy the day and prepare.